Do you ever wake up, shuffle to the bathroom, take one look in the mirror and sigh? Maybe those under-eye circles look a little darker, or your skin has that "I barely slept" vibe. It happens to all of us. But what if I told you that in just 5 minutes, you could bring a fresh, natural glow back to your face? That's what we're talking about today. Stick with me and let's get that light, effortless radiance going. You're gonna love this. Hey there, my wonderful crew. Welcome back. We are officially at day 8 of 10 days to feel younger at home. And today's all about something super simple but incredibly effective. Light makeup that works for us, not against us. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Makeup? At my age? Too much hassle. But trust me, this is different. My friend Ruth, who just turned 70, gave it a shot last week. She looked in the mirror afterward and said, "Wow, I actually look awake." And it only took her 5 minutes. So grab a mirror, sit back, and let's do this together. You don't need fancy tools, just your hands, 2 products, and a little curiosity. Let's glow up. All right, let's talk real for a second. As we get older, our skin changes. It starts looking a little dull, maybe a bit uneven, and those dark circles? Yeah, they show up uninvited. And honestly, a lot of us just stop bothering with makeup altogether. Why? Because traditional makeup routines take too long, feel heavy, or just don't work the same way anymore. But here's the thing. Looking fresh and feeling good doesn't have to mean spending an hour in front of the mirror. It doesn't even have to mean using a bunch of products. What we need is something light, quick, and effortless. That's exactly what I have for you today. Just 2 simple steps and 5 minutes to bring back that natural, healthy glow. Let's do this together. Let me tell you a little story. Last Tuesday, my friend Ruth was standing in front of her mirror, looking downright exhausted. You know that feeling, right? She had been running around all week, barely taking time for herself, and it showed. She touched her face and sighed, saying, "I feel fine, but I look like I haven't slept in days." And that's when she decided to try something different. She grabbed a little tinted moisturizer, dabbed it on her face, swiped on a touch of lip balm, and stepped back. In less than 5 minutes, she looked awake. Not younger, not different, just refreshed. And that's the beauty of this little trick. It's not about covering up or looking like someone else. It's about bringing out your best self, the version of you that looks as alive as you feel. Now, there's actually some science behind why this works. Studies have shown that a little color on your skin, whether it's from a light tint or a bit of moisture, evens out your complexion and makes you look healthier. Add a touch of color to your lips, and suddenly your whole face looks brighter. It's not magic, it's just a small shift that makes a big difference. And here's the thing. Heavy makeup, thick foundation, powders, those can actually do the opposite of what we want. They settle into fine lines, make skin look dry, and can even make us look older than we are. That's why this lightweight approach is such a game changer. It enhances, rather than hides, the natural beauty that's already there. My cousin Linda, who's 66, has been wearing full coverage foundation for years. She thought it was the only way to even out her skin, but she started feeling like it was too much. One day I convinced her to try this lighter method. Just a little tinted moisturizer, a dab of lip balm, and that was it. She looked in the mirror and said, "Why have I been doing all that extra stuff?" Now she's hooked. Even my neighbor Sue, who never thought she needed makeup, gave it a shot. She told me, "I always figured makeup was about looking younger, but this just makes me look happy." And that's exactly it. This is not about turning back time, it's about bringing out the glow that's already inside you. So if you're skeptical, I get it. Maybe you've never tried makeup, or maybe you gave it up years ago. But just for fun, try this little trick. Take 5 minutes, dab on a little tinted moisturizer, swipe on some lip balm, and see how you feel. It's not about perfection, it's about feeling refreshed, looking a little brighter, and stepping into the day with just a bit more confidence. Let me know if it works for you. I think you're gonna love it. All right, let's get down to it. If you're thinking, "I don't have a steady hand," or "I haven't done makeup in years," don't worry. This is the easiest routine ever. No fancy skills are required. If you can tap your fingers on your face, you can do this. First up, grab your tinted moisturizer. You only need a tiny bit. Think the size of a pea. No brushes, no sponges, just your fingers. Warm it up between your hands for a second, then start patting it onto your skin. Don't rub it in like lotion, just tap it lightly. Focus on the spots where you need a little brightening. Maybe under your eyes, around your nose, or anywhere that looks a little dull. Now, if your hands shake a little, here's a trick. Rest your elbow on a counter or table for support. That'll give you more control. My friend Sue, who's 68 and has arthritis, told me this tip changed everything for her. She said, "I always thought I couldn't do makeup because my hands were too unsteady, but this made it so easy." Once your tinted moisturizer is on, take a step back and check yourself in the mirror. You should look evened out, but still like yourself, just a little more refreshed. And that's exactly what we're going for. Next up, lip balm. This is where the fun comes in. Pick a shade that makes you smile. I love a soft pink, but my friend Ruth swears by coral. Whatever you choose, just swipe it on. If you want a little extra color, tap it on your cheeks too. Just a tiny bit. Blend it with your fingers. It gives you that natural, healthy glow like you just got back from a morning walk. And that's it. 2 products, 5 minutes, and you're done. No powders settling into lines, no complicated steps. Just a quick, fresh look that works for anyone. Now, let's talk about those of you who are thinking, "I never wear makeup, is this even for me?" My neighbor Joe, who's 75, told me he hadn't used anything on his face in decades, but after watching his wife try this, he decided to test it out too. He used the tinted moisturizer, just a little, to even out some redness, and you know what? He felt great. He said, "I don't look made up, I just look healthier." That's the point, my friends. This isn't about transforming into someone else. It's about looking in the mirror and seeing a version of yourself that feels alive and ready for the day. So try it out, see how it feels, and let me know if it makes a difference for you. I think you're gonna love it. Now, one last thing before we wrap up. If you ever feel like makeup is too much effort, think about this. It's not about beauty standards or trying to impress anyone. It's about self-care. Just like how you'd put on a nice shirt before heading out, or how you'd take a second to brush your hair, this is the same thing. A tiny bit of effort can shift your whole mood. My cousin Linda told me the other day, "I used to feel invisible. Now, after doing this, I catch my reflection and think, oh, hey, there I am." That's the goal, not to look younger, not to chase perfection, just to see yourself, bright and full of life. So tomorrow morning, give it a go. Even if you're not heading anywhere fancy, do it just for you. 5 minutes, 2 products, and a little self-love. That's all it takes. All right, now let's talk about the good stuff. Picking the right products, because, listen, not all tinted moisturizers and lip balms are created equal. You want something that works for your skin, feels comfortable, and, let's be real, doesn't break the bank. First things first, let's talk about tinted moisturizer. My friend Ruth swears by Neutrogena. She likes how lightweight it is and it blends easily without settling into fine lines. I, on the other hand, am all about L'Oreal. It smooths on like a dream, gives just enough coverage, and keeps my skin feeling hydrated. If you have dry skin, go for something creamy. Oily skin, look for a matte finish. And if your skin tone is deeper, pick a warm shade that brightens you up without making you look washed out. Now let's talk about the real hero, lip balm with a tint. It's such a simple step, but trust me, it makes all the difference. I love Burt's Bees in Rose. It's got just enough color to make me look awake without feeling like I'm wearing lipstick. Ruth, on the other hand, is all about coral shades. She says they make her feel lively, and I have to admit, she looks fantastic in them. The key is finding what makes you feel good. My cousin Linda once grabbed a bright pink lip balm thinking it would be fun, but when she put it on, she said, "I look like a clown." Lesson learned. Just because a color looks good on the shelf doesn't mean it's the right fit. Stick to shades that enhance your natural lip color. Soft pinks, warm berries, or gentle nudes. And while we're at it, let's talk about something a lot of people forget. Expiration dates. Yes, even makeup has a shelf life. Ruth found an old tube of tinted moisturizer in her drawer, put it on, and within minutes her skin was flaky and patchy. Turns out the formula had dried out. Always check the dates, and if something starts smelling weird or separating, it's time to toss it. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I don't want to spend a fortune on makeup. And you don't have to. Most of the best products out there are under $15. Drugstore brands have come a long way, and you can find great options without stepping foot in a fancy beauty store. So the next time you're at the store, take a minute to test out a few shades. Find something that feels good, looks natural, and gives you that little boost. And when you do, let me know what you pick. I love hearing what works for different people. After all, the best product is the one that makes you feel like your best self. Don't be afraid to experiment a little. If you're unsure about a shade, swipe a little on your hand before buying. That's what I do, and it saves me from surprises later. My neighbor Sue, who's 69, told me she never used tinted anything before. But after trying a warm berry shade, she said, "I had no idea such a small change could make such a difference." So whether it's Neutrogena, L'Oreal, Burt's Bees, or whatever you love, the important thing is to find what works for you. Once you do, getting ready in the morning becomes a whole lot easier and a lot more fun. Let me paint a picture for you. My friend Ruth, before trying this little glow-up trick, looked in the mirror one morning and said, "I look like a ghost." And listen, we've all been there. Whether it's lack of sleep, stress, or just time doing its thing, sometimes our reflection doesn't quite match how we feel inside. But after 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, she came back, looked again, and her entire mood shifted. She had a little color in her cheeks, a brightness in her face, and most importantly, a spark in her eyes. Her daughter walked in, stopped, and said, "Mom, you look amazing. What did you do?" That's the magic of a simple touch of tinted moisturizer and a swipe of lip balm. Now, she's not the only one who's had this kind of moment. A few days ago, I had one myself. I woke up feeling drained, dragging my feet to the kitchen for my morning coffee. I caught a glimpse of myself in the microwave reflection and thought, "Oh boy, I look rough." But instead of ignoring it, I grabbed my tinted moisturizer, dabbed it on, swiped my lip balm, and took another look. And you know what? I didn't look tired anymore. I looked refreshed and put together, like someone who actually had a full night's sleep. And it's not just about how you see yourself, but how others react to you too. My neighbor Joe, who's 72, has a weekly poker night with his friends. He tried this routine for fun one evening, and when he walked in, one of his buddies said, "Joe, did you finally take a vacation or something? You're glowing." He laughed, but later he told me, "It felt good to be noticed positively." Even my sister Anne, who never wears makeup, called me last week. She had tried this quick routine before a video call with her grandkids. As soon as she popped up on the screen, her grandson said, "Grandma, you look so happy today." That little comment made her whole week. And it wasn't because she looked younger or different, it was because her natural vibrance was shining through. That's the real takeaway here. This isn't about makeup in the traditional sense. It's not about covering up, changing who you are, or trying to look like you did 20 years ago. It's about feeling good. It's about looking in the mirror and seeing a version of yourself that feels alive, confident, and ready to take on the day. So if you've been on the fence about trying this, just go for it. Take a before picture, then spend 5 minutes with your tinted moisturizer and lip balm. Look again and see if you notice that extra glow. Because sometimes the smallest changes bring the biggest boosts of confidence. All right, before we dive into the makeup, let's talk about what comes first, your skin. Because here's the thing, no matter how great your tinted moisturizer is, if your skin is dry, patchy, or just not prepped right, it's not going to sit well. And I learned that the hard way. I remember one morning when I was in a rush, I skipped my usual routine, slapped on some tinted moisturizer, and ran out the door. A couple of hours later, I caught my reflection, and oh boy, it was a mess. The makeup looked uneven, my skin looked flaky, and I just looked tired. That's when I realized you've got to give your skin a little love first. So here's what I do now. First thing in the morning, splash some warm water on your face. It wakes you up and gets rid of that overnight dryness. Then, if your skin tends to be on the drier side, like mine, use a simple, gentle moisturizer. Nothing fancy, just something to keep your skin hydrated. If you're someone who's always battling oily skin, look for something lightweight that won't make you feel greasy. And let's talk about the secret weapon, sunscreen. My friend Claire, who's 71, swears by it. She once told me if I could go back in time and tell my younger self one thing, it'd be wear sunscreen every single day. And she's right. Not only does it protect your skin, but it also gives you that nice, smooth base for anything you put on top. Now, let's talk nighttime, because if you want to wake up with fresh, happy skin, you've got to take care of it before bed, too. My routine is simple. Rinse with warm water, use a gentle cleanser if I need it, and put on a light moisturizer. My cousin Linda takes it a step further. She uses a hydrating night cream, and let me tell you, her skin looks amazing. And I know some of you might be thinking, I don't have time for all this. But here's the thing, it takes maybe 2 extra minutes. That's it. Use it for 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night, and your skin will thank you. You'll notice your tinted moisturizer blends better, your lip balm looks fresher, and your whole face just has that healthy glow. So tonight, give it a try. Before bed, rinse, hydrate, and see how your skin feels in the morning. And tomorrow, when you do your 5-minute glow up, I promise it'll look even better. Because makeup isn't about covering up. It's about enhancing what's already there. And when your skin feels good, you feel good. That's the real secret. And if you're someone who's never really had a skincare routine, don't overthink it. My neighbor Sue, who's 69, never used anything on her face besides soap and water, but after trying a simple moisturizer and sunscreen combo, she called me up and said, "Why didn't I start this sooner?" It's never too late to take care of your skin, and it doesn't have to be complicated. A little effort goes a long way, and you'll feel the difference. So tonight, just start with a small step, warm water, a little hydration, and a promise to show your skin a little love. You'll thank yourself in the morning. Let's talk about the real magic behind this little glow-up trick. Sure, the tinted moisturizer and lip balm make you look fresher, but the real transformation? It's how you feel. Take my friend Ruth, for example. Before she started doing this, she used to rush through her mornings, avoiding mirrors, throwing on whatever was closest. But now, she takes those 5 minutes for herself. And it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling put together. Last week she went to her bingo night, and her friends kept telling her she looked so bright and happy. One of them even asked if she had been on vacation. She just smiled and said, "Nope, just a little glow up." And here's the kicker. There's actual science behind this. Studies show that when you put effort into your appearance, even in a small way, it triggers something in your brain. It tells you, hey, I care about myself. I'm worth it. And that, my friends, is powerful. Let me tell you about my own experience. The first time I tried this, I wasn't expecting much. It was a lazy Sunday morning, and I was still in my robe, sipping coffee. But I figured, why not? 5 minutes later, I caught my reflection in the window, and I did a double take. I didn't just look better. I felt awake, alive, and ready to take on the day. And that energy shift, it carried through everything else I did. Even my neighbor Ed, who's 73 and never cared much about skincare or grooming, tried this trick. He told me, "I never thought a little effort in the morning could change my whole attitude, but it really does." The next time I saw him, he stood a little taller and had a little extra pep in his step. And this isn't about impressing anyone else, it's about you. My cousin Linda said it best. It's not about looking younger, it's about looking like the best version of myself right now. That hit me, because isn't that what we all want? To feel good in our own skin? So if you've been feeling a little blah lately, try this. Not for anyone else, but for you. Take those 5 minutes, put on a little glow, and see how it changes your mood. Maybe you'll smile at yourself in the mirror. Maybe the mailman will say, "You're looking cheerful today." Maybe, just maybe, you'll stand a little taller, feeling that quiet confidence kick in. Give it a shot, and when you do, let me know, because I have a feeling you're going to love it. And if you're sitting there thinking, "I don't know if this will work for me," trust me, I get it. My neighbor Sue felt the same way. She told me, "I haven't worn any kind of makeup in years. Why start now?" But after a little convincing, she gave it a go. The next time I saw her, she was glowing, not just on the outside, but in the way she carried herself. She laughed and said, "Okay, you were right. It's not about the makeup. It's about how it makes you feel." So, go ahead, take that tiny step for yourself, see how it makes you feel, and when you notice that little extra pep in your step, remember, you deserve to feel good every single day. All right, here's the big moment, the part where it all comes together. You might be thinking, can 5 minutes of light makeup really make that much of a difference? Let me tell you, the answer is yes. Just last week, Ruth's daughter came over for lunch. Now, normally, Ruth doesn't fuss too much about her appearance, but that morning she took a few extra minutes to do this simple routine. When her daughter walked in, she stopped, stared, and said, "Mom, you look amazing. Did you do something different?" And Ruth just smiled. That right there, that little moment of recognition, of feeling seen, that's what this is all about. And it's not just Ruth. My friend Joe, who's 72, started doing this before his morning walks. The first time he tried it, his neighbor waved and said, "Joe, you're looking sharp today." He laughed it off, but later he told me, "You know what? It actually felt nice to hear that." And that's the thing, it's not about looking younger, it's about looking like the best version of yourself. For me, it's those small, unexpected moments. The other day, I ran into my grocery store cashier, who's seen me 100 times, but this time she looked up and said, "You look so refreshed today." And let me tell you, that little compliment carried me through the rest of my day. So here's my challenge for you. Try it. Give yourself 5 minutes tomorrow morning. Even if you're just staying home, do it for yourself. Then, pay attention to how you feel, how you carry yourself. You might be surprised at the difference. Because this isn't just about makeup, it's about confidence, self-care, and showing up for yourself in the best way possible. And listen, even if no one else notices right away, you will. That's the best part. My cousin Linda told me, it's not about getting compliments, it's about catching my own reflection and thinking, "Hey, I look good today." That little boost, it sticks with you. So go ahead, give it a try. The way you feel about yourself sets the tone for your whole day, and you deserve to step into each day feeling your absolute best. Well, folks, that's a wrap on day 8. Can you believe it? We've covered a simple 5-minute trick that brings out your natural glow, and I hope you're feeling as excited about it as I am. This isn't about fancy beauty routines or looking like someone else. It's about embracing yourself, feeling refreshed, and stepping into the day with confidence. I know some of you might still be thinking, does this really matter? Is it worth the effort? And I get it. Life gets busy. Sometimes it's easier to just skip it and go about your day. But here's what I've learned. Taking those few minutes for yourself sets the tone for everything else. It's like making your bed in the morning or putting on a nice shirt before heading out. It's a small act of self-care that reminds you, hey, I'm worth a little extra effort. Ruth told me yesterday, you know what I love most about this? It's not about looking younger, it's about looking like the best version of me. That really stuck with me, and I think that's what makes this so special. It's not about chasing the past, it's about celebrating who you are right now in this moment. Tomorrow, we're moving on to something just as important, snacking smarter. I know it doesn't sound as fun as glowing up, but trust me, you're gonna love it. We're talking easy, delicious ways to fuel your body and keep that energy up all day. For now, take a look in the mirror. See that glow? That's you, shining in your own way, and I couldn't be more proud of you for showing up and taking this journey with me. Day 10 is just around the corner, and we are building something incredible together. So here's my little challenge for you. Keep this going. Try it again tomorrow, see how it makes you feel, and most importantly, notice how you carry yourself throughout the day. Do you smile a little more? Do you feel just a bit more energized? Those small shifts add up. And hey, if you're feeling inspired, share your thoughts. I'd love to hear how this simple routine has worked for you. Drop a comment, send me a message. Let's keep this conversation going. Because of this journey, it's just getting started. Now it's your turn. Did you give this 5-minute glow up a shot? If you did, I want to hear about it. Drop a yes in the comments if you tried it, and if that lip balm made you feel fresh, type brighter. If you're standing a little taller today, say bold. Your stories keep this journey alive and I love hearing them. Maybe you caught your reflection and thought, hey, I look good. Or maybe someone gave you a little compliment that made your day. Whatever it is, share it. We're in this together. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss what's next. Day 9 is all about smart snacking, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. You're my Glow Gang now, and we are just getting started. Keep shining, keep showing up, and I'll see you in the next one.